flipping through the newspapers, switching through multiple news channels, exploring different websites and online mediums for relevant news. Keeping up to date with important news is not only time-consuming but also requires meticulous upkeep of notes for thorough revision. With a limited period in hand and abundant resources to study from, do not let current affairs come in the way of your prelims success. Join the PT 365 program by Vision IAS and advance in your preparation for current affairs. Starting on 9th January at 5 p.m., this 20-day course offers comprehensive coverage of 1 year of current affairs in 60 hours. Join for improved knowledge with complete coverage of The Hindu, Indian Express, PIB, Economic Times, Yojana, Economic Survey, etc. Doubt-clearing sessions and mentoring for thorough knowledge. Access to Sandhan personalized test with 25,000 plus questions. Access to live and online classes for flexibility in timing. It's time to devote your energy to smart learning and not running. Enroll today and excel in UPSC prelims with a strong command of current affairs.
Hello and welcome to this edition of News Today. Without delay, let's have a look at the headlines first. Marathi language has officially been granted the status of a classical language. First bilateral meeting between Foreign Secretary of India and Afghanistan's acting foreign minister held. Modified cashless treatment scheme unveiled by the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. Supreme Court highlighted issues in implementation of the Dam Safety Act of 2021. External Affairs Minister highlighted the crucial role of India's diaspora ahead of 18th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas Convention. A new study reveals 24% of the world's freshwater species are at risk of extinction. In our first news for the day, Marathi has officially been granted the status of a classical language. This recognition highlights Marathi's deep historical roots and its vital role in shaping the nation's cultural identity. Let's take a closer look at the concept of classical language in India. The concept of a classical language was first created in 2004. The criteria for declaring a language as classical were revised in 2024 to include high antiquity of early text or recorded history spanning 1500 to 2000 years. Additionally, a body of ancient literature or texts that are regarded as a heritage by generations of speakers. Thirdly, knowledge texts including prose, poetry, epigraphical and inscriptional evidence. And lastly, the classical languages and their literature could be distinct from their current form or show discontinuity with their later offshoots. Now, moving on to the list of other languages that enjoy classical language status. So far, 6 Indian languages have been recognized: Tamil in 2004, Sanskrit in 2005, Telugu and Kannada in 2008, Malayalam in 2013, and Odia in 2014. Recently, the classical language status was also approved for Pali, Prakrit, Assamese, and Bengali alongside Marathi. What does the recognition mean for language? Let's explore the benefits. First, it ensures the preservation and documentation of ancient texts, including their digitization. This process creates opportunities in fields such as archiving, translation, publishing, and digital media. Second, there are academic benefits. The Education Ministry provides 2 major annual international awards to eminent scholars of these languages. Lastly, funding is allocated for research and the overall betterment of the language. Now, let's delve into the rich history of the Marathi language. Marathi is an Indo-Aryan language that evolved from the Maharashtri Prakrit, a dialect of the Prakrit languages spoken during the Satavahana era. One of its earliest known literary works is the Gatha Saptashati, a collection of poetry attributed to the Satavahana king Hala, and it's also one of the earliest known literary works in Marathi. With this recognition, Marathi joins the ranks of India's most historically significant languages, paving the way for its preservation and growth. In a significant diplomatic development, India's Foreign Secretary held the first bilateral meeting with Afghanistan's acting foreign minister. This marks the highest level of engagement with the Taliban since their takeover of Kabul in 2021. During the meeting, the two sides evaluated the ongoing Indian humanitarian assistance programs and reached an agreement to use Chabahar port for trade and commercial activities. Now, let's delve into the background of India-Afghanistan relations. The two nations have shared a close and friendly bond since the signing of the Friendship Treaty in 1950. However, following the Taliban's return to power, India chose not to officially recognize the regime, though sporadic engagements continued. For instance, a technical team was deployed to the Indian embassy in Kabul to facilitate the delivery of humanitarian assistance and continuing engagements with the Afghan people. Notably, in November 2024, an official joint secretary meeting between an Indian diplomat and the Taliban's defense leadership took place, marking a new phase of engagement. But why is Afghanistan important for India? Let's delve into it. Firstly, Afghanistan's location at the heart of Asia is significant as it has served as a route to India since ancient times through the selected passage of Khyber and Bolan. Secondly, Afghanistan's stability and security are critical, as it has often been a haven for terror groups. Constructive engagement would ensure a solution to problems of terrorism, extremism, and separatism. Thirdly, Afghanistan's strategic position at the crossroads of Central Asia and South Asia enhances India's access to the region. Additionally, India's humanitarian assistance, such as providing wheat supplies to drought-affected Afghanistan in 2021, strengthens its soft power and global stature. India has also been involved in several developmental projects in Afghanistan, including the Afghan-India Friendship Dam, formerly known as Salma Dam, and the Zaranj-Dilaram Highway. However, India must also contend with the rising role of China in Afghanistan. Reports suggest that China is actively pursuing urban development projects in Kabul, along with exchanging visits of ambassadors. This meeting signifies India's efforts to balance its strategic interests while continuing humanitarian support to the Afghan people. Moving on to an important update from the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, or MoRTH, which has unveiled the modified cashless treatment scheme aimed at providing timely and cashless treatment to road accident victims across the country. Now, let's take a closer look at this initiative. This scheme builds upon a pilot project on the cashless treatment scheme launched by MoRTH in 2024. It operates under the legal mandate provided by the Motor Vehicles Act of 1988 as amended by the Motor Vehicles Amendment Act 2019. So what are the key features of this scheme? First, it offers support for treatment cost up to 1.5 lakh rupees for a maximum period of 7 days. However, the support is contingent on the police being informed about the accident within 24 hours. Additionally, in cases of hit-and-run accidents, the scheme provides financial assistance of rupees 2 lakh to the families of the deceased. And how will this scheme be implemented? The National Health Authority, or NHA, will serve as the implementation agency, working in coordination with police, hospitals, and state health agencies. The E-Detailed Accident Report, or EDAR application, will play a crucial role in facilitating the scheme's implementation. Moving on to its coverage, the scheme is applicable to all road accidents, ensuring no victim is left behind. But why is the scheme so relevant today? Let's consider the numbers. Last year alone, 1.8 lakh fatalities occurred due to the road accidents, with 66% of these victims aged between 18 and 34. The scheme aims to reduce these alarming figures by ensuring immediate medical assistance. Moreover, it encourages good Samaritans who render emergency medical or non-medical care or assistance by facilitating treatment during the critical golden hour, which is the first hour after a tragic accident when timely care can save lives. India has also undertaken several road safety initiatives to address the growing concern of accidents and fatalities. These include the identification of black spots, which are accident-prone areas requiring immediate attention. Additionally, the National Road Safety Policy of 2010 provides a comprehensive framework for promoting road safety measures across the country. Complementing this is the National Road Safety Council, which serves as an advisory body to guide and monitor road safety activities. Furthermore, the Integrated Road Accident Database has been developed to collect and analyze accident data for better planning and prevention. Lastly, road safety audits play a crucial role in assessing and improving the safety of road infrastructure. In conclusion, MoRTH has undertaken a significant step toward addressing road safety challenges and ensuring that victims receive the care they need without financial hurdles.
Moving ahead, the Supreme Court has recently highlighted significant issues in implementing the Dam Safety Act of 2021. In a recent case, the Apex Court observed that the National Committee on Dam Safety, or NCDS, mandated under Section 5 of the Act, has not yet been constituted, even years after the Act's enactment. Now, let's understand the role of the NCDS. It is a part of a four-tiered institutional structure outlined by the Act. Its primary objective is to prevent dam failure-related disasters and maintain dam safety standards. The committee would be chaired by the Central Water Commission's chairperson, with representatives from the centre and states, along with 3 specialists. So, what is the Dam Safety Act of 2021 all about? Its purpose is to ensure the surveillance, inspection, operation and maintenance of specified dams to prevent disasters caused by dam failures. The Act establishes a robust institutional framework with 4 tiers. At the center level, it includes the National Dam Safety Authority, or NDSA, and the National Committee on Dam Safety, or NCDS. At the state level, it mandates the formation of the State Committee on Dam Safety and the State Dam Safety Organization. Now, let's talk about the significance of dams in India and the associated safety concerns. India is the 3rd largest dam-owning nation in the world after China and the USA. With approximately 5,000 large dams, the need for a robust safety mechanism becomes even more critical. However, there are some pressing concerns regarding dam safety in India. First, aging dams pose a significant challenge, with over 80% of the country's large dams being more than 25 years old. Second, sedimentation is a major issue as the accumulation of sediment reduces the storage capacity of these dams, impacting their efficiency. Third, seismic risks make many dams vulnerable to earthquakes, as seen in the case of the Chang Dam, which was affected during the 2001 Bhuj earthquake. Moving forward, let's take a look at other dam safety measures implemented in India. One of the key measures is the National Register for Large Dams, or NRLD, compiled and maintained by the Central Water Commission. Additionally, India is implementing the Dam Rehabilitation and Improvement Project, or DRIP, which is supported by the World Bank and the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, or AIIB. Other initiatives include the National Center for Earthquake Safety of Dams and the Dam Health and Rehabilitation Monitoring Application, or DHARMA. The Supreme Court's observations serves as a wake-up call, emphasizing the urgent need for effective implementation of the Dam Safety Act to safeguard lives and infrastructure. As India prepares to celebrate the 18th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas, or PBD convention, the External Affairs Minister has emphasized the pivotal role played by the Indian diaspora in shaping India's global presence. PBD is a biennial event observed on January 9th to commemorate the day in 1915 when Mahatma Gandhi returned to India from South Africa, marking a pivotal moment in the country's history. Now, let's dive deeper into the significance of the Indian diaspora. To begin with, what exactly does the term Indian diaspora mean? It refers to people who have migrated from the territories now within the Republic of India. This includes non-resident Indians, or NRIs, persons of Indian origin, or PIOs, and overseas citizens of India, or OCIs. Let's further break this down. An NRI is an Indian citizen, ordinarily residing abroad, holding an Indian passport. A PIO refers to a person of Indian ancestry holding a foreign passport. And an OCI cardholder is someone registered under the Section 7A of the Citizenship Act of 1955. Notably, in 2015, PIO and OCI cardholders were merged into a single category, OCI. Now, let's take a closer look at the numbers. The Indian diaspora is approximately 35.42 million strong as of May 2024. Of these, around 15.85 million are non-resident Indians. The United States hosts the largest segment of this population, totaling 5.4 million people. Moving on, let's explore the major contributions of this vast and vibrant community. Economically, the Indian diaspora plays a critical role. Foreign remittances sent back home contribute significantly to India's socio-economic development, particularly in rural areas. In terms of knowledge transfer, technical expertise and finances from the diaspora bolster India's domestic entrepreneurial ecosystem. Their presence also helps establish trust with foreign investors, enhancing India's ability to attract FDI. Diplomatically, the sizable Indian diaspora in regions like South Asia and West Asia opens doors to nurturing mutual relationships and shaping a positive global image for India. And culturally, the diaspora serves as ambassadors of India's soft power. From popularizing Indian music and cuisine to spirituality, they help foster cultural exchanges worldwide. So, what initiatives has the government taken to enhance engagement with the diaspora? Let's take a look. The Overseas Citizenship of India scheme, introduced through the Citizenship Amendment Act 2005. The Know India program, or KIP, introduced by Ministry of External Affairs, fosters a closer bond with the youth of the Indian diaspora, while the Indian Community Welfare Fund, or ICWF, provides assistance to overseas Indian nationals during emergencies and distress. These efforts, combined with the immense contributions of the diaspora, truly highlight their vital role in India's global journey. A groundbreaking study has revealed a concerning reality. 24% of the world's freshwater species are at risk of extinction. This marks the first ever multi-taxon global assessment of freshwater fauna for the IUCN Red List of Threatened Species, led by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, or IUCN. Let's begin with the key findings of the study. The major hotspots for threatened freshwater species include Lake Victoria, spanning Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda, as well as Lake Titicaca in Bolivia and Peru. Closer to home, the Western Ghats in India and Sri Lanka's wet zone are also among these critical regions. When it comes to the species most at risk, crabs, crayfishes and shrimps top the list, followed by freshwater fishes. Alarmingly, at least 4,294 species out of 23,496 freshwater animals have been identified as highly threatened. Interestingly, the study also highlights that area with high water stress, characterized by high demand and low supply, and regions with eutrophication do not necessarily have more threatened species than areas with lower water stress and less eutrophication. To clarify, eutrophication refers to the excessive nutrient load in water, leading to the overgrowth of algae and aquatic plants. Now, let's take a closer look at freshwater landscapes and their broader significance. These habitats are home to 10% of all known species on Earth. Beyond their ecological value, they provide essential services like safe drinking water, livelihoods, flood control, and even climate change mitigation. However, these landscapes face severe threats. Pollution, primarily from agriculture and forestry, is a leading factor. Land degradation, whether through agricultural expansion, water extraction, or dam construction, adds to the problem. Additionally, overfishing and the introduction of invasive alien species are further jeopardizing these crucial ecosystems. Finally, a quick word about the IUCN, established in 1948. It works to empower public, private, and non-governmental organizations with the knowledge and tools to enable progress in economic development while conserving nature. The IUCN is a membership-based union of government and civil society organizations and is headquartered in Gland, Switzerland. The findings of this study serve as a wake-up call to prioritize the protection of freshwater species and habitats. In today's Place in News, we will be discussing Malaysia with its capital Kuala Lumpur. Recently, India and Malaysia held their first security dialogue to deepen counter-terrorism ties. Now, let's move on to its political features. Malaysia lies in Southeast Asia, just north of the equator. It is separated by the South China Sea into two parts: Peninsular Malaysia or West Malaysia and East Malaysia on Borneo Island. It shares land boundaries with Thailand, Brunei, and Indonesia, while its maritime boundaries are shared with the Philippines, Singapore, and Vietnam. When we talk about Malaysia's bordering water bodies, they include the Strait of Malacca and the South China Sea. Now, turning to its geographical features, Malaysia's major mountain is the main range, and its highest mountain is Mount Kinabalu, which stands tall at 4,095 meters. Its major rivers include the Pahang, Rajang, and Kinabatangan.
As we conclude today's main news, let's have a look at some quick updates. Around 56,000 square meters of dense forests were created in Prayagraj in the last 2 years using Miyawaki technique in the preparation of Mahakumbh 2025. Miyawaki technique is a reforestation technique developed by Japanese botanist Akira Miyawaki, designed to create dense and native mini forests in urban areas. Prime Minister laid the foundation stone of India's first green hydrogen hub under National Green Hydrogen Mission in Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. The mission was announced in January 2023 under the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. The objective is to make India a global hub for production, usage and export of green hydrogen and its derivatives. Artesian condition was recently observed in a village in Jaisalmer, Rajasthan. The word artesian is specifically used when water is confined under pressure below layers of relatively impermeable rock. It is located deeper below the Earth's surface, surrounded by poorly permeable rocks that result in high pressure underground. Recently, Uttarakhand High Court pulled up authorities for unregulated soapstone mining in Bageshwar, Uttarakhand. Soapstone, also known as steatite, is a metamorphic rock made of talc, a naturally occurring mineral used in cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, and other industries. India and US will co-produce interoperable sonobuoys for the Indian Navy. This initiative is aligned with the objective of the US-India Initiative on Critical and Emerging Technologies. Sonobuoy is an air-launched expendable electromechanical acoustic sensor which provides crucial water temperature data to enhance the accuracy of other sonar systems. AI Touch LLP has received funding under the Department of Telecommunications TTDF scheme of USOF, which is now Digital Bharat Nidhi, to develop components for 5G Radio Access Network or RAN. RAN is a key component of wireless telecommunication systems, enabling devices like cell phones and computers to connect to a network via a radio link. Future of Jobs Report 2025 has been released by the World Economic Forum. According to the findings of the report, about 170 million new jobs will be created by global macro trends by 2030. Also, technology-related roles are the fastest growing jobs in percentage terms, which includes big data specialists, fintech engineers, among others. Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas has highlighted that number of LPG connections in India has more than doubled from 14.52 crore in 2014 to 32.83 crores in 2024. 10.33 crore of these LPG connections were provided under Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana of 2016. The objective of this Yojana is to make clean cooking fuel such as LPG available to the rural and deprived households. Before we sign off, let's challenge your understanding in today's installment of Test Your Learning. Thank you for joining us. We hope you found this episode of News Today engaging. For the solutions to the quiz and to access the PDF version of News Today, remember to visit the provided links in the description.